Alright, we're back doing this GreedFall here thing. And last time we got pretty frustrated because the game screwed us. And now we're going to try to save this guy again.
We're committed to protecting this man.
If we're going to help him, we will probably lose track of our man.
Shut up. Nobody's gonna come and save.
Really?
For pity's sake, spare me.
So basically, because we... Basically...
Let me live.
Because we listened to the conversation, that's why he died. But keep in mind, look where everyone else on our team is. They're not here.
I owe you my life, Your Excellency.
Don't mention it. Alas, all this was useless. This man was not Egon.
I'm not sure that it's a person, Your Excellency. It may be the name given to the leaders of the gang.
That's what I was thinking.
I don't know. But I will never be at peace until you arrest them, that's for sure.
That's exactly what I'm trying to do. But how can I find this man now?
He said he was going back to Hikmet, which is where he sends the stolen alcohol. I'm sorry. I have not been completely honest with you. I could have told you that earlier, but I knew that without your protection, I would not survive. The deliveries are sent to a dispensary outside the town. No doubt to avoid arousing suspicion.
A dispensary? But what are they doing with all this alcohol?
I'm not sure, Your Excellency. But you'll no doubt find out if you go there.
Well, at least the fright Egon gave Alric managed to loosen his tongue.
Oh, nothing, Bosco. We just saw someone who is a captain or whatever, and no, like he was a naut, wasn't he? He was wearing naut clothing, I think. I don't know. I wasn't really paying that much attention. But yeah, so it would seem as though if we had listened to the conversation, then that guy dies. If we had taken the proper path down, like our companions did, which is why they didn't show up until after the fight, he probably would have died. So this was kind of poorly designed. But as far as the Egon thing, that is what I started to suspect. I started to think that Egon was not one person. Now keep in mind, we could still be wrong. Damn. That counter knocked him on his ass. How did we hit no one? How did that happen? How did that happen? But yeah, like I was about to say before I got distracted by the cutscene or something. I was gonna say, I wonder if Egon's not a real person.
Oh, it's you,
but and then like explain like, but what I mean by that is like, well, obviously it's not a real person. Like obviously it's a made up name. But what I mean is, what if Egon, there is no Egon period, and it's just something a group of people use. You know what I mean? Like a group of people made him up. Like he's a fictional boss or something, you know? And then he said that, and it was like, oh, maybe I'm right. But still, like, this poor handling of stuff, man. Now, I could be wrong about Ludwig being one of the nauts, because I really wasn't looking at his face, I was looking at his upgrades, and his upgrades look like those that you can put on Vasco's armor or Naught's armor. But the thing is, unfortunately, I guess Spiders didn't have time to think of unique upgrades for the Bridge Alliance. But yeah, for the Bridge Alliance and the Nauts, their upgrades look very similar. They're pretty much identical. So I was very focused on the upgrades, and as a result, I might not have been looking at his actual armor to see if he was a Naut or not. Mind you, what I should have been looking at, obviously, would be his face, to see face tattoos. But I was just staring hard at particularly the neck upgrade that he had. And that is a Naut upgrade.
These islanders are drunk. And these guards don't look that official. I think we found where all the alcohol reserves on the island end up.
These islanders are drunk. What islanders is she referring to? I guess we're just gonna walk up.
On your way. There's nothing for a highness here. As for you, savage, if you're looking for something to drink, go to my colleague over there.
What? How dare you? I see. Thanks for the advice.
All right. And Kurt had nothing to say. Like, come on, man. So I'm wondering if we can stealth our way in. Was she...
This is the man we saw at the quarry. We must stop him.
Where? What are you talking about? Well, his name is Captain Ludwig, so yeah, maybe he is a Naut. Which again, Vasco, really? You got nothing? Let's see if, no? Alright, I guess we're doing this.
Bit of poison on my blade, and let's go!
Ow.
Move away! Things are about to get dicey! Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
It's like they don't even need Haeva. Now why the...
Surrender. You are under arrest.
What am I accused of?
You are a high-ranking member of a criminal organization that has named itself Egon, and you did not hesitate to order a murder. So, even though the attempt failed, the gallows awaits you unless you decide to reveal everything you know.
I won't say a word. I won't give you anyone. I'd rather die.
If you really thought so, we would not be talking. You will be taken to New Serene. Manfred will know how to make you talk.
Now that irritated the hell out of me. I targeted the one person, was facing that person, hit Fury attack, and she turned around and hit Egon. I didn't want to do that because I wanted the loot. I mean, it's practically useless, but that's really not the point, is it? I am so irritated. Like, and part of the reason for my irritation is because it just gives me flashbacks to the number of times we died with, you know, because of stuff like that. Because that's an unfair death. Dying because I wasn't good enough, that's perfectly fine. I'm fine with that. Like, good, okay, there's consequences for not timing things right or what have you. But when I'm dying because even though I targeted the most vulnerable enemy, and yet she just randomly chose to strike at the most armored enemy, and then that one freaking nearly decapitates her, that's a problem for me. And that's only one of multiple flaws with this combat system. We had this person targeted. That was why we had them targeted, because I didn't want her to do that, and she did it anyway. And it's like, how much testing could these people have possibly done? Like, I don't even... And there's already been at least one patch, and you're telling me they couldn't fix this? Well, maybe they couldn't. I don't know. But it's just irritating.
Hello, Your Excellency. What can I do for you?
Kurt, nothing? Okay.
Was the captain we arrested transferred to you?
Yes. And we began to question him. It appears that he was paid by Governor Buren. The governor tasked him with weakening the natives as much as possible in order to muzzle the rebellion. They were trying to poison the natives with alcohol, but they needed a lot to do it. Their entire smuggling operation revolved around that.
Did you contact the governor?
Yes. He sent us a letter apologizing, saying he didn't know he was dealing with criminals. His letter was accompanied by a letter of marque to compensate the merchants who suffered in this case.
Which doesn't mean that he will abandon these despicable methods. Is there any news on Egon? We are no longer certain it's even a person.
Even though that name might refer to the organization, someone must be leading it. And that's who we have to stop. Alas, for now, the captain doesn't want to tell us any more. So the interrogation continues. We're waiting for answers on that point. I need your help in another case.
I'm listening.
The admiral sent us a furiously worded letter. One of their ships was commandeered by our troops. They accused the San Mateus garrison. But I know Herbert is quartermaster. He's an honest man. I'm not saying that the admiral is lying to us, but I don't understand what could have happened. Whatever the case may be, the admiral is threatening to refuse all transportation to our men. This will not only hurt the guard, but also all the nations that employ us. We need someone diplomatic.
I want to talk to the admiral.
Piece this whole story together. Can I count on you?
Yes. I will go see Admiral Cabral and try to understand what happened.
Yes. Like, we don't even get to decide. It is a side quest. Oh boy. Like, is this all the same side quest? No, it's a... Okay.
Oh, it's you, Menawi. Come and see.
You really... You gotta not be doing that. It's like, have some different greetings or have them stop after you've talked to them. I don't know. Alright, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna swap someone out. Because eventually we're gonna have to go to San Mateus. So we'll drop Siora, put in Petrus. Oh, why didn't we take the lazy way? I like the lazy way.
Desarde, what can I do for you?
Manfred, The quartermaster of New Serene Garrison told me that he'd received a letter from you. Was one of your ships hijacked by the Guard?
The Trident and its crew were commandeered by the San Mateus garrison. Commandeered? We will not let ourselves be threatened by these land pirates. The Guard has no idea who it is dealing with. I've already sent several of our warships to board the Trident and release its crew. The Guards taken on board shall be given no quarter.
I understand, Admiral. But Quartermaster Manfred was as surprised as you to hear this news. That's why he asked me to investigate. The Guard never gave the order for such an operation.
So these mercenaries do not even know how to manage their men? Remarkable. We will not deal with the Guard until Manfred cleans up his ranks. No more of these hireling thugs will set foot on my ships. The nobles will just have to do without their bodyguards.
I will tell him, Admiral. And know that I am fully aware of the problems that caused this act of piracy. Not only for the Guard, but for all the nations on this island. I will do everything to find those responsible.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I will eagerly await your news. Anything else?
I need to be going. Until we meet again, Admiral. The Admiral knows that we can't do anything without the force of the Guard. By prohibiting them from transport, she's putting everyone at risk, leaving us to take care of the problem.
At the same time, she has something to be mad about. This is the first time in our history that anyone has dared to attack our ships.
Kurt, nothing? Alright. To San Mateus. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what this is about. But, you know, characters. One of the things that I liked about Vasco's story was that in Vasco's story, he goes through changes, and while it wasn't a full-on promotion, he got a new tattoo. And that was pretty cool. Something changed for him, right? Well, Kurt, I feel like Kurt should have got promoted or given a new type of position, given he saved the coin guard. He saved kingdoms or whatever, you know? I feel like that should have happened. And I'm curious, if Kurt had died, would we just not have that party member? Like, yeah, you know, I'm just curious about certain things. But, you know, I would like to see Kurt get a position where he does outrank everybody. You know, like, he's like the emissary of the commander or something like that.
And what can I do for you?
Really, Kurt? Nothing?
Quartermaster Manfred sent me.
I was expecting such a visit. And I'm glad Manfred sent an external investigator. This commandeering business may just spell the end of the Guard. Without the nauts transport, we are finished. I don't understand what could have happened. I can assure you that we have never issued an order to that effect. It's as if some members of the Guard obey others' commands.
We had trouble with a criminal organization within the Guard. I wouldn't be surprised if they were behind this matter once again.
Oh, this is terrible news, Your Excellency. How can we sort the good apples from the bad?
By speaking to those in charge of those in command of this town, and trying to unravel the truth from the lies.
Since you neutralized
What?
Major Herman and his gang, 3 lieutenants have been leading the troops, while waiting for a new senior officer to be appointed. They are Lieutenants Alexander, Klaus, and Ermelind.
Do you think they are honorable?
I won't vouch for them if that's what you're asking. I don't know them well enough.
Thank you, Quartermaster. I'll go and find them.
Ermelind. I like that name. Pretty, yeah, I don't know. I like that name, Ermelind. Other people might not, understandably. But I don't know, it sounds unique and strong. I mean, it's not like I would name my daughter that. Or son, because maybe. But it fits in this world. It works, you know? Ah.
Hello, Lieutenant. My name is de Sardet.
Oh, you are the legate of the congregation. You're quite the celebrity amongst our ranks. I am Lieutenant Alexander. Did you need me?
I suspect him. No, I'm joking. It's like just the way he said it.
I am conducting an investigation into the illegal commandeering of the ship, the Trident. We must work fast and find out who organized this act of piracy, or we will all pay the price. Do you know the men who seized the ship and who they served under?
All I can tell you, Your Excellency, is that I'm sure they were not under my orders. As foolish as it sounds, we don't know the identity of the soldiers involved. Since our previous commander's coup attempt, there's been tremendous upheaval. We lack senior officers. The registers are not up to date, and many men are on the run. I suspect the supporters of the coup who escaped the trial may be responsible.
It's not impossible. I dealt with Major Herman, who was serving Commander Torsten, but I didn't take care of his men.
It's only an idea, of course, but one that seems most logical to me.
I'll leave you, Lieutenant.
Oh, okay. Not gonna push him or anything, like put some pressure on him? No? Like, okay. Because he might not be telling the truth, I dib it. Oh, wait, there's... like, I don't even know what the lockpick requirement was. It was just like... Really? There's nothing in here. Lame. Not even in there. Lame. So why did we have to... Why was it even locked? There should have been goods in there. Goodies. It's just, I mean, such an organization would be prone to corruption. But hot damn, you know?
Hello, I am...
De Sardet, legate of the merchant congregation, right? Nice to meet you, Your Excellency. Lieutenant Ermelind, at your service.
Well, I didn't know I was so famous.
Oh, okay. Like normally, when someone says that, the other person explains why you're so famous. Like, of course you are. How could I not hear of the person that put an end to our coup?
Can you tell me anything about the ship that was commandeered by the guards?
A complete act of piracy, if you want my opinion.
Do you know who these guards were and under which officer they served?
No, and no soldier is missing here as far as I know. This is very strange. But since the commander's attempted coup, everything has gone to hell here. Men start muttering as soon as we have our backs turned. Some recruits have suffered violence, but refuse to name their attackers.
Do you think something is going on?
It seems obvious to me that some people took advantage of this unrest to line their own pockets.
I see. Thank you.
Okay.
I'll leave you to it. Farewell, Lieutenant.
Still nothing, Kurt? Alright. I'm so glad I brought you along.
Your Excellency, if you really want to know what's going on in this barracks, find me tonight near the church.
To whom do I have the honor of speaking?
Quiet. No one must know that I spoke to you. I am Sergeant Franz, and I'm prepared to help you. Don't forget the church tonight.
Okay. So that's a trap. We're gonna get jumped. They're gonna try to kill us. No, let's not play it out, though.
Hello, Lieutenant. De Sardet, legate of the merchant congregation.
Lieutenant Klaus. What can I do for you, Your Excellency?
Klaus! Klaus in the house! American Dad! Oh, stop playing.
I'm investigating the illegal commandeering of a Naut ship that took place here in San Mateus. Do you happen to know the men responsible and the officer they served under?
I'm sorry, Your Excellency, but I don't know. I only took office in this city 2 weeks ago. I'm just getting to know my troops. I was sent here to remedy the lack of officers following the arrest of the commander's men. Are you sure that this commandeering is not the isolated act of a few homesick recruits?
Not totally sure, but it's very unlikely. Managing the crew of a Naut ship requires great numbers and organization.
I see. Well, in that case, sorry for not being more useful.
Farewell, Lieutenant. The Lieutenant's interrogation produced nothing. This sergeant is our only lead.
With this gang's reign of terror, we were lucky to have come across him.
Yeah, lucky. You scared the crap out of me, Kurt. You were so quiet, I forgot you were around. I know, that was just a jerk thing to say. It was. But he was just of no value the whole time. He said nothing. Why did he have nothing to say? Go to the meeting point. And see, there needs to be more consistency with how things are done. Like, we go to some places and they're like, you remember, Leggett, that so-and-so only shows up at night. But then there's other times where, why do people do that? Like they have something to say.
May the enlightened
You got nothing to say. But then you get other times where it's like, alright, this would be a good spot to wait. You know what I mean? So I never know which one is going to happen. And I'm pretty sure he said meet him at night, so we're going to try meeting him at night, but consistency matters. Well, he's not dead. And now we'll have to see, like, no one killed him. Well, maybe someone followed him to kill him. Or this is a trap, and they're going to try to kill us. Who knows? Yay, 4 gold coins. Hooray.
Here you are. I wasn't sure you'd come. That will be understandable. It's better to be wary with Egon.
What do you know about this organization?
More than I would like. I'm part of it. Now ask me any questions you want. We don't have much time.
God damn. Okay, I'm surprised it's not a trap then.
If you're part of this organization, why did you want to talk to me?
I joined this gang some time ago, without realizing the extent of their power. I naively thought that it would only be a matter of completing a few small secret protection missions, but I found myself involved in a sordid business with the young islanders. We capture them to sell them as slaves. They're very popular in brothels. I participated for a long time, without batting an eye, but I ended up bonding with one of the captured islanders, and the horror of this trafficking has finally hit home. I don't want it to happen to her.
And yet, we have not seen any islanders in the brothels. Nor have we heard of this until now. Like, it's the equivalent of something magically popping up. Like when you go to an area and some tablets aren't there, and then later they're like, the tablets are there.
Who took possession of the ship, and for what purpose?
Soldiers from the garrisons, members of Egon's organization. The boat was supposed to be used to transport the island captives to the mainland. Someone must have had enough of only being able to move a few slaves at a time, hidden in the holds. Now they've pulled this big stunt. They've not only attracted the wrath of the Nauts, but also your attention. Egon would never have made such a mistake, and they'll make the fool who did suffer dearly.
That was an interesting thing to say.
Do you know who Egon is? Or at least who runs this organization?
No. Everything is very compartmentalized. Each group knows only its direct superior, never the one above. Not only do I not know the big boss, but I don't know anything about his other activities.
And who gives you your orders?
Lieutenant Ermelin. That woman is ruthless. After the business with the ship, she decided to make a clean sweep, probably to avoid the wrath of Egon. She told us that we had to get rid of the islanders we still held captive. She wants to clean up behind us to avoid leaving any trace. My friend is among them. If I can't find a way to stop Ermelind, she will die.
If we want to prevent this massacre, we will have to intervene quickly. Where are the islanders held captive?
They're kept in a former logging facility on the outskirts of town.
Is it well guarded?
No, numbers are small to avoid arousing suspicion. But when Ermelin comes with her troops to get rid of the young people, it'll be a very different story.
Well, we'll take control of the operation before that happens, by getting rid of the guards. When Ermelind and her soldiers come, we will use the element of surprise to neutralize them.
With all due respect, there will be many. Are you sure you'll be able to face them?
Yeah.
We could ask for help from one of the native clans. The Storm Warriors, for example.
Do you think they would?
If it only involved us, I doubt it. But it's about saving their own young people. They'll also be able to give them shelter when we free them.
We will need to act quickly. I fear Ermelind will take action any moment now.
I'll go get help in Vedlug as soon as possible and take care of the operation.
Thank you. I'll arrange to be appointed as the scout for Ermelind's squad. That way I can let you know when we arrive.
We should go to Vedlug.
Yes, Storm Warriors will be a good asset.
I mean, they would, of course. But see, like, this is difficult to say. Like, technically, this is congregation business. We don't. Well, I don't think we need help. But we'll get Siora involved. Because, you know, Siora should be involved. Or wait, should we drop? Vasco's the one we should drop. But I'm willing to bet we've been here before. Like the place. Yep, we've been there several times, in fact. And, you know, we never encountered such an operation, but I remember us being there. And we were like, what is this place? What's going on here? Well, now we know. Magic sex brothel. No. I hear battle music, but no, I'm not interested. Yeah, because this is where, yup, because barely noticed that. Or actually, we didn't notice it at all. And we went here one time when we were supposed to go there. We zigged when we were supposed to zag.
Here is the logging facility. The prisoners must be in that cabin.
Oh, I'm glad we checked real quick. Mind you, I'm pretty confident we would have survived anyway, but still. Better be safe than sorry. I would say maybe it's a little insensitive to be Brigadier Kurt, but, you know, nah. Kurt has no qualms killing guards that are doing wrong.
No one passes.
I will pass without your permission.
What was the point of the dialogue? What was the point? Thought maybe we'd be able to convince them or something.
And death to the others!
Not that we need keys anymore. Because we have a lockpick of 3. Oh, yeah. I gotta admit, like, having a lockpick of 3 is kind of cool because you can just get into anything in this game. Like, in some games, they kind of take away the fun of having your lockpick skill maxed out because they'll have random doors. This can't be lockpicked. And it's understandable. It's like their border. It's like their way of making sure you don't violate certain quests or something like that. But in this game, they don't do that. It's like, no, it doesn't matter if it's a quest item. It doesn't matter if it's quest related or not. If you have a lockpick of 3, you can get into it. Look, I don't even use the keys anymore. I don't even care.
You're free.
Thank you. May the trees always bear fruits on your journey.
It was Sergeant Franz who told us where to find you.
Franz? So he kept his word. I had hoped he would.
Stay hidden here for now. We will set up a trap for the people who captured you.
Then we will fight by your side. They will pay for what they have done to us.
No, you're in no condition to fight. It's better that you stay here. When we are done with them, you can return home.
You're there. Were you able to get rid of the guards?
Yes, some. And we have released the prisoners. But there are still others that we have to defeat.
Are you alone? Have you not managed to find allies?
No. I think we can fend for ourselves.
Ermelind and her troops shouldn't be long. You should take position.
There are still others we have to defeat. Where? What? We took care of some, but not all. Like, what the absolute hell are you talking about? Like, come on, man.
Anything to report, Sergeant Franz?
Negative, Lieutenant.
Everyone's a
Everything is
beast.
quiet.
Where did the guards go?
I don't know.
How can you not know? Hey, what's going on?
Maybe enlightened protect me in this battle.
Emmeline's a beast. Even the name, the name just sounds kind of hard. Emmeline. Yeah, that's made so much sense. Oh my god. Like, there's just certain aspects of this game, y'all. And then that happens, and then it makes me feel great. Oh, there's more. Oh, biscuits. Except, no, I'm not really concerned. These people can't hang. Let's fire the gun. Sometimes it just needs to be fired. Like, it's not even a fight.
Move away. Things are about to get messy.
Ah, and that time we just...
We got them.
Make sure that Lieutenant Ermelind is shackled and brought back to San Mateus. She will probably be sent to New Serene to be interrogated by Manfred. She has a lot to teach us about Egon.
I hope she can help you put an end to all of this.
We will take refuge in Verdrice. It's not far. Thanks again for freeing us.
Breg, it's thanks to you that I realized what we were doing. I hope you'll forgive me one day for being one of those monsters. In the meantime, I will do everything I can to help stop this smuggling for good.
You are a better man than you think. Friends, when you're finished, return and see me at Xavier. I will be glad to see you again.
We should go. Let's report to Quartermaster Herbert.
That could be interesting. That could be very interesting. I guess we're just taking a bunch of silver coins. Now, I know that, like, I understand why this doesn't happen, but man, it would be cool as anything if you could make trophies out of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I'm collecting these silver coins, I'm making a necklace out of them. Like, Haeva just makes some jewelry out of that crap. That when she talks to a member of Egon, it can influence how easy it is to convince them to do something. Like, are you sure? Are you absolutely sure you want to be uncooperative with me? And they see that chain and they're like, how did you get those coins? You know, it'd be kind of cool, man. But that's a lot of detail. That's a lot of role play. That's a lot of work. So I understand why things like that are usually not in RPGs. Well, hot damn. We just keep collecting these silver coins and it's like, well, what good are they? Why even have them? You know?
Here comes our pay, boys!
No, you're about to all die. It's just how it is. You really just stood no chance whatsoever. What? I don't know what stat is doing that, like if that's a stat, but it's like, it's funny because when we counter them, she just knocks them on her ass. It's like, I'm more powerful now, and I will crush you.
Your Excellency, I was told you'd returned with prisoners.
Yes. Lieutenant Ermelind organized a slave trade on behalf of the organization I told you about. Her men captured natives who were then sold here or smuggled to the mainland. We also found out that they commandeered a naught ship to speed things up.
What madness. I guess Manfred will want to have her questioned. Lieutenant Alexander, you will accompany her with some men.
Quartermaster, at your orders.
And you, Sergeant. I understand that you participated in the despicable actions of this traitor.
It's true, Quartermaster.
I recommend clemency. Without his help, we would not have discovered what this was about.
I see. You will accompany Lieutenant Alexander. Manfred would like to talk to you, but I will make sure that he knows what role you played in this case.
Thank you, Quartermaster.
Well, I'll let you get on, sirs.
Thank you very much for your help, Your Excellency. Travel safe.
Well, things seem to be in order here now. We should go and warn Manfred.
Time to warn Manfred. Now, when I said I wonder if the coin guard were kind of meant to be the nauts of land, so to speak, because no one has their own transportation. They all rely on the nauts. And some people might go, well, how are you questioning the coin guard but not the naut situation? Well, that's because the nauts have closely guarded secrets that made it to where kingdoms were not going to risk traveling the seas by themselves. It's as simple as that. They have something that everybody needs, and it gives them a great deal of power, and it also makes sense. It's like nauts have special magic, and when they seem to be able to get from place to place so easily and discover places, and your own people likely have multiple failed attempts, you're probably going to be like, well, they're doing it, they know what they're doing, why do we keep sending people to their death, basically? But the coin guard do not offer anything that kingdoms couldn't acquire easily for themselves. They offer nothing. So how did they become everyone's bodyguard? How did they position themselves in such a way? That's what I'm curious about. The nauts, perfect sense. But you go beyond that, I'm not so sure. But you look at these silver coins and it's like, they just seem to be in the game for the purpose of the story, like, oh, they're silver coins. But to me, that doesn't make sense in a way. They have to have a use. And it doesn't make sense that they all had silver coins. When we discovered what was going on, that was not how this worked. Only certain people would have a silver coin. Right? now they're saying everyone has a silver coin that's in this organization. And that just was not the case, or at least it didn't appear to be. When we fought the one person that was initially believed to be Egon, he had a group of guys with him. Guess what? Only one of them had a silver coin. Him. This time, everyone had a silver coin.
Hello, Your Excellency. What can I do for you?
I was able to clarify the story about the ship, and we arrested the person in charge.
I've already been told all this. Lieutenant Alexander came before you did. He told me the whole thing, and he didn't fail to tell me everything we owe you. I have already sent a letter to the Admiral explaining what happened and offering reparations. I hope she will forgive us. Anyway, I thank you very much. Once again, you have worked wonders, Your Excellency.
We couldn't have done anything without Sergeant Franz. He showed admirable courage. I imagine he has joined your forces.
That doesn't ring a bell. I don't think a sergeant by that name is stationed here.
Strange. It seemed to me that Quartermaster Herbert told him to come and find you.
Well, perhaps he changed his mind. With this business going on, he must be sorely lacking in men. Anyway, know that our investigation has finally paid off. Lieutenant Alexander arrested many criminals with information obtained from prisoners. You should go find him. He's with Captain Ulrich.
Captain Ulrich?
The highest-ranking captain in the garrison. He's an old man who is not often found in the field, but faced with such a scandal, he had to intervene personally.
Thank you, Manfred. I'll go find them.
Oh, great. Herbert's probably freaking dead. I mean, I doubt we just got Kaiser Sosade. Like, I don't think Herbert was actually in charge. That's what I suspected at first until he gave his motives. That it was like...
This arrest is good news. Let's find the captain.
No. No. No.
Ah, Your Excellency. I was talking about your exploits to Captain
Holy
Ulrich.
crap.
Your Excellency.
Captain, Lieutenant, Quartermaster Manfred informed me that you had made several arrests.
Indeed. Lieutenant Ermelind confessed, which enabled us to flush out most of the gang.
I can't quite believe that all the arrested men are involved in this case. I know many of them, and could have sworn they were honorable people.
I'm sorry, Captain. I understand. It's a shock. We were all sure that our comrades would never be involved in this kind of thing.
Will you continue the investigation?
Of course. We can't stop our research until we've completely dismantled this organization.
Lieutenant Alexander was asking me to transfer him to New Serene.
Oh, hell.
The investigation there.
To manage it, if you allow it, my captain. I was honored to participate in the interrogations of Lieutenant Ermelind, and to be able to arrest all these criminals. I would not want to leave things half-finished.
As I told you, Lieutenant, I can't approve the transfer of an officer from another garrison. I must refer to the commander.
In any case, we're most grateful for your help. But we can now bring this investigation to an end without you.
I see. What goes on in the Guard is the Guard's own business.
It's a bit like that, yes. We can't let the actions of a small group compromise the reputation of the whole Guard.
You forget, once again, that you have not yet obtained your transfer, Lieutenant. In the meantime, please be dismissed.
At your orders, Captain. Goodbye, Your Excellency.
This brazen lieutenant is bordering on insubordination.
I'm sorry you had to hear this call to order. This lieutenant is inclined to forget who he's speaking to.
It must be the enthusiasm of youth.
No.
It's possible. In any case, and contrary to what he said, we will still need your help.
Why's that?
Lieutenant Alexander claims that Ermelin's confession allowed him to arrest all these men. But I attended one of these interrogations, and all she talked about was a secret camp. The one in which Torsten's recruits received their special instruction for the coup d'etat.
A place I remember all too well.
I'm sure, Kurt. And I'm sorry for that. If I understood correctly, this place was taken back
and used by the criminal
Of course it was.
but our lieutenant did not mention it, which surprised me, and led me to doubt his sincerity. Perhaps Alexander failed to report it to increase his prestige later.
But he could have another motive. So you would like us to go there?
Indeed. And I'd like to accompany you. I am no longer a field officer, but I still know how to hold my own. And I want to see this case with my own eyes. You know the place, so you will be my guide.
Very well, Captain. You can count on me.
Thank you, Your Excellency. I will get going right away. Will you come with me?
No. No, I'm joking.
Yes, I'm ready. Let's hurry.
That dude killed Herbert. Like he is the guy. He's the damn guy. I could be wrong, but hot damn it.
We're almost there.
How would you like to proceed, Captain?
By the book. We'll go through the whole camp, neutralizing any threat.
Like what's funny is there were 2 people out of the 3 lieutenants where I was half joking around, but I was like, I suspect them. And it turned out that is possible. Like, Emmeline was one of them. I was like, I suspect her. And I was like, let me stop playing. Emmeline was one of them, I believe. And then the other one was Alexander. And it's like, oh, Alexandra, whatever his name is. I'm like, oh, I suspect you. I'm like, okay, let me stop playing. And I didn't do it for the 3rd guy. And it might turn out that we were right. It might turn out that our horsing around might have been correct. I'm very upset to have to harm you down. Wait, maybe, just maybe, maybe. Yes. But now we kind of wasted our... Now we gotta recharge a fury. But hot damn. Poor Herbert. Maybe he's not dead, right? Maybe they wanted to torture him and they have him prisoner. But it was like, yeah, you leave with Alexander. It's like, oh crap. So all those people, Captain Ulrich was like, I find it hard to believe they were involved. He may have been right. Lieutenant Alexandra might have been just removing the competition, well, not competition, but removing people. Good guards. Alright, there's battle music going on, so clearly we're about to drop some mother suckers. And slow. Damn, look at Kurt. Oh wait, that ain't Kurt, that's Captain Ulrich. Captain Ulrich smacking the meat off some people. Oh damn, I accidentally switched. Let's use our pathetic magic ring that sneaks under armor. That's terrible. But you know what? We're probably gonna start throwing points into magic. We might do it because where else are we gonna put points? You know what I mean? So, you feel me? Like, where else are we gonna throw it? We have all the power we could ever want in our compensator. Knock knock. Anyone here? Anybody? we're gonna do this thoroughly. Oh crap. Stealth attack, y'all. Oh. Like, we don't even care, man. Like, we just taking these mugs. Not where I was aiming. Because I wanted to hit a group of people. Wait, who the hell hit Haeva in the mouth just now? So I'm gonna punch her right in the mouth.
Bit of poison on my brain. Then let's go!
Yeah. I noticed them just barely. Really, sure. Come on. Come on, baby. Look at that counter attack. Sick. See that armor come off? See that meat? Oh, okay. That's not what I expected. I thought we'd have to clear them from the outside and then go inside, clear a few more. But you gotta say, it's a little weird that they were all hanging out in the back, the side. None of them were actually guarding the front. You know, to try to keep people out, you know, that kind of thing. There's just bodies here. Dude, what happened to the people we saved? The ghost recruits? I know, I'm just now thinking of them, but still.
It's Sergeant Franz. Poor
Son
man.
of a
He
biscuit.
paid dearly for the help he gave us.
He was beaten to death.
Quartermaster Herbert ordered him to accompany Lieutenant Alexander to answer Manfred's questions, but he never made it to New Serene.
I was sure that the lieutenant was not genuine. He must be involved.
You know what would suck if Manfred's involved? Like, I doubt it, but it still would be messed up. That poor bastard. He never had a chance. Herbert, or whatever his name was, Franz. Look at that. Look at that. This meat. Well, even though they blocked it, you can feel the meat. You can feel the meat coming off. But yeah, I do wonder what happened to the ghost recruits here. And I feel like they could have been an integral part of the story. When the coup happened and whatnot. You know what I mean? Like, because I think they were still part of the coin guard. They didn't know what they were getting into.
Lieutenant Klaus, so you are part of this disgusting plot.
Lay down your weapons, Lieutenant.
So every
Any
lieutenant
resistance is futile. Your troops have been decimated.
I will not surrender, Your Excellency. Death is sweeter than the price of treason.
If you speak, we will be lenient.
No.
You, maybe, but Egon, I doubt it. Farewell.
He's poisoned.
Wow.
I'd have liked to have questioned that traitor.
Damn. He poisoned himself. That dude went hard. So all three of them were involved? Well, that's... I mean, so that makes us wrong. Or maybe we were wrong about Alexander, or... we were wrong about Klaus. Letter from Hikmet at the attention of Egon. Egon. Our operations at Hikmet ended abruptly after the intervention of a nosy legate of the congregation. Captain Ludwig was arrested and Governor Burhan ordered us to put an end to our operations. We deeply regret it, but we could not do anything. Ludwig should have been more careful, waiting for your orders. Alright. So all the lieutenants, they shouldn't have done that, man. Like, come on. Unfinished letter. Madam Arzu, I regret to inform you that we will not be able to ensure the delivery of the natives we promised you. Unfortunately, the ship we had requisitioned was retaken by the nauts, interrupting the delivery. Rest assured that we will do everything in our power to... So was he writing that letter? And we interrupted him? Or was someone else here? Letter from New Serene at the attention of Egon. Egon, our operations in New Serene had to be suspended after many of our men were arrested or killed, and the lieutenant in charge of the operation chose to take his own life rather than betray us. Intendant Manfred called on a member of the congregation, a legate I think, who managed to make the merchants speak and discovered our plan. What should we do, awaiting your orders?
These letters are signed by Egon. We must go to the office of the leader of these criminals.
We could study the handwriting to find out who's behind this pseudonym.
Well, how the hell did we do that? Kurt?
Greenblood, my friend. Do you need something?
I need you to study the handwriting.
I must leave you.
That's what she needs you to do. Okay, I'm not sure what we're supposed to do. Search the old ghost camp. Guess we continue that. Wait, he said we could study the handwriting. Study it how? What are you talking about? Oh.
And let's go!
Nice try.
It looks like poison.
List of names written by Egon. We must urgently do away with the following people who have endangered our operations using all necessary means. Captain Ulrich in New Serene, Legate de Seren in New Serene, Intendant Manfred in New Serene, Intendant Herbert in San Mateus. Sergeant Franz's name was also on the list, but it has been crossed out.
This document talks about eliminating.
We
the
gotta
witnesses
hurry
to the
up and
case.
save them.
Manfred and us are definitely on that list. We did a good job, Your Excellency. Egon will never come back from a hit like this.
Certainly. But we know that there are still criminals amongst your troops, including their leader.
We know that Lieutenant Alexander is involved in all this. The sergeant's body, and the fact that he didn't tell us about this camp, are telltale signs. Perhaps he will be able to provide us with a lead. Otherwise, we still have these letters.
Remember that we are targets. Just like Manfred, we will have to stay alert.
You're right. Let's get back to New Serene as soon as possible. You'll hand over the evidence to Quartermaster Manfred and assure yourself of his safety. I will go and ask our insolent lieutenant for an explanation.
I don't like this. No, I don't like it at all. Now, it's possible, and I could be overthinking this. I have a tendency to do that if you haven't noticed already. I have a tendency to overthink things. But it's possible that the leader of this group, this criminal organization, Egon, is actually one of the names on the list. It is possible. Like, in order to cast doubt or to avoid suspicion, like they thought ahead and they put their own name on that list. There's a possibility. That's all I'm saying. Like they thought ahead. They had a burn plan. You know, like a plan, like something to do if things went to hell, and they'd burn it all down and get away with it. You know, they have a sweet stash. They've been saving up. It'll suck that their operations are done, but they'll be well off. They'll escape into the sunset or whatever. It's possible. So they put their own name on the assassinations list. But again, I could be overthinking it. It might just be Lieutenant Alexander. If he is involved, if he is a leader on top of it, I mean, the dude is one devious SOB. Like, he even comes across, like, the way he sounds, he just sounds politely devious. He just does. Like, he just has a way about him.
Your Excellency, I wasn't sure I'd see you alive again.
How did you know we were here? Did the captain tell you?
He was arrested while coming back here. Lieutenant Alexander said he was finally reported by his accomplices.
That lieutenant has some nerve. We know he's involved. We found the body of the sergeant who was to accompany him here. He got rid of him to punish him for helping us, or to stop him from revealing more. We also found this document saying that everyone who knows about the case should be eliminated. You're in danger, and they've already found a way to get rid of the captain.
Most of the men who are loyal to him are in jail. I can't do anything without help. I've been trying to get the commander. If anybody can restore order to all of this, she can.
Here, take this evidence and show it to her.
Alas, there's nothing in there that clearly indicates who Egon is.
The recent actions of Lieutenant Alexander suggest that he's the brains behind this operation. And we only have to compare his handwriting with these letters to be sure.
I'm going to join the commander, but you should intervene. I'm afraid he'll get rid of the captain.
Not if Haeva has anything to say about it. And yeah, this episode is running just a tad bit over, but come on. We all want to see this through.
Desart, Your Excellency! What a joy to see you again. We finally stopped Egon. The captain will be happy.
Naturally. And that is why you were surrounded by the men I apprehended. We visited your secret camp and found the body of poor Sergeant Franz, who, in spite of his death, continues to betray you. You are a member of this organization, Lieutenant. And when we compare your handwriting to the letters we have seized, it wouldn't surprise me to discover that Egon is none other than you.
We prepared a discreet death for you, worthy of your uncle's court. A little poison, and our troublesome diplomat would have been out of the way. But since you leave us with no choice, finish them.
It'll be a real pleasure.
Finally, our revenge has come.
This ain't gonna go well for you guys. Oh damn, Kurt's already dead. I'm curious though. You know, for the longest part of this game, I actually forgot that this menu existed.
To my help, and death to the others.
Wow, he's not doing anything.
Things are about to get dicey.
Damn, that took some meat off of Haeva. That was a bad move on my part. There's really no need to do that move without making sure you hit stasis first.
I can't hold on much longer.
Unless they're already about to die, then in which case, you know. Well, if they're about to die, you probably should do it anyway.
No, no, no! Why did you have to stick your nose in our business?
If you had not been so careless, so eager to get rich and climb to the top, maybe we would never have discovered your operations. Surrender, Alexander. Unless you prefer Egon.
Let me go! I could make you rich.
I doubt that the commander would find that arrangement acceptable.
Wretches!
I've been waiting to put this pathetic scoundrel in a hole for a long time. May I?
Be my guest, Kurt.
Your Excellency, Lieutenant Alexander was court-martialed and will soon be executed.
You have my gratitude, Your Excellency. Without you, this assassin would have probably strangled me in prison.
Manfred gave me all the evidence you gathered, and told me about the case. I'm just sorry he didn't tell me about it sooner.
My apologies, Commander. But you've been so busy since starting your new position. I never thought the case would be so big.
Be that as it may, the high-ranking culprits have been punished, and the foot soldiers will be sent back to the continent. A few months on the front should bring them back to reality. We owe you so much, Your Excellency. Without you, the Guard would probably be nothing more than a band of brigands. I am extremely grateful. I will not forget what you did for us.
Don't mention it, Commander.
Good to see her. Oh, finally. The coin guard is friendly towards Haeva. Who would have thought it? Alright, well, we ran over. But let's go a little bit further over.
Do you need something?
Yeah, I need you to leave to see if she says something different.
Hello, Commander. Lady Desade. How can I be of service to you?
You seem to know Kurt well.
We have known each other a long time, and we have fought together. I think we have been brought closer by the ideals of the Guard. A mercenary guild, certainly, but for whom honor and loyalty
it seems that
not empty words.
There's virtually no change in what she says.
Our vision is too naive
and I respect that.
Perhaps that's true.
I respect that a lot, because it's almost like,
for what I believe is
right. Whatever she has to say, she can say to his face, you know? Now, I would have minded there being different dialogue, since we did ask her about Kurt already before with him standing here. So it would have been, I wouldn't have minded having her say, well, I've already told you my feelings on that already. Everything I said in front of him, I would say no different behind his back. Do you need me to remind you what I said? You know, like, something like that. I'm trying to find where we killed those guys, because they had loots. Well, I guess we lost out on some loots. On some fat loots. Alright, that's going to do it for this episode. I thank you for going into overtime with me. Until next time, take care.